Welcome back to the BookEnds YouTube channel. So today, Jessica, you did a blog post last week.
Yeah.
That went off.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So this is really just more of a story time, agent story time. Authors are great. And
Yes.
for the most part, everybody's great. But like in any job, every once in a while, people
Some sour apples
are not great. Sour apples is a good one. And we can get a little backlash.
Yeah.
You know, we, as we discussed the other day, we respond to queries too quickly, and that apparently upsets people. We wait too long to respond to queries, and that also apparently upsets people.
And we get the sour apples because they're very attached to their work, and we respect that. So we understand.
Honestly, I don't mind at all.
No.
I know that sometimes agents get really upset about it and really upset when authors are nasty to them.
I think those agents never worked in retail.
Or waited tables.
Or, yeah, exactly.
I don't get upset at all. I understand there's probably a couple places the author's coming from when they sort of punch back at us, which is they're frustrated.
Just don't know what kind of day they had.
Yeah, they've gotten rejection after rejection, and this was the one that just broke.
Yeah.
Or they're new, and they had no idea what they were getting themselves into, and those first couple of rejections could come complete surprise. They had no idea how hard it was going to be or what was required. I have a response that advises authors to work on a stronger query. I don't send it to everybody, but every once in a while I get a query or a non-query where it's literally like, attached is my book, please read it. Or yeah, nothing about the book is in the query. And in those instances, I will say, you know, before continuing to query, I would suggest you work on strengthening your letter. My hope is you can get a stronger letter and maybe another agent will respond differently.
And that's all coming from a good place.
Yeah, well, not everybody thinks that. And I've been told off a few times.
In the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, this last couple of weeks has been busy.
Yeah.
You've had a lot to say.
As Rachel Brooks here likes to say, Mercury must be in retrograde.
Whatever that
means. We don't know what it means, but sure.
I'm sure somebody will tell us.
Yeah. And let us know in the comments. We struggle with that one.
But anyway, you know, I understand the frustration. We understand the frustration with rejections. There are certainly rants we go on in the office when editors reject certain things in certain ways that sometimes, but we keep it in the office. We don't call the editor and rant at them.
And for the most part, we're experiencing the same things that authors, querying authors specifically are. So we get where it all comes from.
Yeah.
We get where the excitement and the disappointment all comes from.
And we get how frustrating it is when you get a long rejection that tells you so many great things about the book.
It's
but we're passing anyway.
Right.
And you're thinking, what?
Yes, and the constant like roller coaster of hopefulness and letdown and hopefulness. We get all of that.
Yeah. But I think what most of this backlash shows is that you're not ready. Because when you're getting, you know, agent rejections, your next step, once you get an agent, quite frankly, is publisher rejections.
What we were just talking about, going through the entire same process again.
Yeah, and, you know...
And multiple times, maybe even.
Certainly, hopefully, the book will sell, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get rejections, and that doesn't mean they're not going to be frustrating. I don't know that... I think it's pretty rare that a book sells and every publisher who saw it is offering. Somebody's rejected it somewhere along the way. Somebody didn't like it.
And it keeps going because then there's readers and reviewers and it never stops. It's something you have to get used to.
Yeah, reviewers, everybody don't go on Goodreads once you're published. It's not worth it. But if you think agent rejections can be harsh, go to Goodreads.
Yeah, Goodreads is tough.
But, you know, so think of this experience and querying agents as part of every next step. You know, as we've discussed in previous videos, the query letter is part of the step of formulating the cover copy for you and your publisher, marketing material for pitching your next books to the publisher, all of these things. The rejections are part of preparing you for publisher rejections and reviews and Goodreads and readers' comments, and all of this sort of happens over and over again.
Yeah.
So it's just something that you kind of have to learn to get ready for.
Right. And if you have if you have the inclination to reach out to someone and yell at them or curse them out, do that somewhere else. Like, just write it down in a book somewhere or scream into the void somewhere.
Actually, once years ago, I had an author reach out and apologize because a few years prior, this author had sent me the nasty response to my rejection, and now a couple of years later had realized what it was really all about and reached out and apologized. I don't think that was necessary, but it was sweet. And
you never know who you're going to work with again.
And great to see that this author was still writing.
Right.
And still working and still learning. And that, to me, was the best part about it, that they hadn't gotten frustrated enough to just quit.
Yeah.
Because that's not what any of us want for anybody.
No, of course not. We want everyone to find their perfect match, both agent and editorially. Yeah. But sometimes just not us, and we can't help that.
Yeah. So, you know, try not to lash back at us, but, you know, if you do, I can handle it.
So good luck querying, and hopefully you get some good news in your inbox soon.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe.
And click the little bell so that you see our face next week.